excited about what's going on in this part of the state, though. I tell you, it's just exciting part about Montana is short and long-term economic growth and opportunities. And I, like many of you, was disappointed to see that we weren't able to get that revenue shift out here to the part of the state that's directly contributing those revenues, as well as most impacted by this. So
I got employees, I got some very, very dedicated employees that are just working their butts off and getting burned out. And you just can't keep, people that are interested in the job. It's 24/7, shift work, weekends, nights, all that stuff. And the people that I do have are the ones that want to work in corrections and detention and things. And the people that come in and are just looking for a job, by the time you get them trained in all the electronics and all the ins and outs of jail work, they find a daytime job when they go out there.
Fire hall, we've outgrown the building that we're in. We need to look at building a larger facility, but I think you heard Brad Bush and Frank DeFonso. We built a law enforcement justice core center a few years ago at $20 million, and now it's too small. When we visit with the judge says, I have to look at who I'm sitting there in front of, and I have to decide who's real bad, who's the worst, and start letting people out of jail to keep that cycle going. And I think Brad nailed it. It's a lot to do with the way the system is. You can only hold them there so long, through the court process, so it's a challenge. Our governor made a comment about 2 months ago in the paper that economic uncertainties. When I listen to you, Congressman, say that everybody down in D.C. is what's happening out there in the Bakken, what's going on. To me, that doesn't seem like an economic uncertainty. There's stuff going on. North Dakota's investing. Montana needs to be looking to invest in.
A couple of quick comments on the Keystone Pipeline you mentioned earlier on. I think the frustration we have there took Canada 7 months to approve the Keystone Pipeline. It's taken our country now 5 years, and we aren't there yet. I'm concerned the president's comments he made on the climate change initiatives, in my opinion, cast more doubt on the Keystone Pipeline. See, I think put one more barrier that they've got to jump over. So I wish I had better news in the Keystone Pipeline, but I can tell you that's getting a lot of pressure, at least from those of us who believe in energy independence in this country. There are others who have different.
1,000 foot, and they're laid out there for 1.5 miles. So we're a long ways from that potable water. Yesterday, that woman said we were using too much water. They're working on recycling this water, but the misinformation is just horrendous about fracking. And I don't know what you can do back there to tell them people that if they shut down the fracking, we're shut down, period. And it'll all dry up and go away because without the technology that we're doing.
Yeah, well, the big concern there is, our pushback is we don't want the federal government to apply fracking regulations here in Montana.
Or North Dakota.
We will allow our state, we can figure this out. I think we've been out in front of this and putting regulations in place that are workable for Montana. So that's the first battle right now, is pushing back on federal regulations that are
We're faced with a $15–16 million wastewater project, and we've got nothing to work with. As you know, the governor took away the House Bill 218, which would have helped us out.
Yeah.
We're having to lean on the county here for a little help. We don't know where that's at yet.
Sidney's the last place out here that really isn't jammed up yet, and a lot of people are wanting to live in eastern Montana and work in western North Dakota. So there's got to be a way, as you alluded to earlier, that you can work with your Dakota delegates together on this thing. But at the end of the day, I think the thing that you'll find unique out here is that we try to work together, and we do the best that we can. We pool our resources. If it hasn't been for the county's help and House Bill 758 that we got in 05, the city of Sidney would have been under a long time ago. So we have to work together out here.
You've got your concerns, but you're trying to work through these barriers here, which you're just complaining about. You're talking about how we get the solutions here, and I appreciate that spirit. I've taken several notes here, and I think, Mayor, to your point, there's certain areas where the federal government can provide some assistance, other areas it won't be able to. But I think continue to work with the whole Montana delegation, our governor, our 2 senators, so we're on the same page here on some of these issues. And I hope too, I hope the governor realizes that HB 218 was perhaps a mistake, and kind of rethink how do we work around that now, get us back. These things will tend to correct themselves, it just takes longer than it should.